Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm talking about this air compressor. It's the Pittsburgh Harbor Freight 12 volt 150 psi air compressor. I was in Harbor Freight today and I saw this one in there, exact same thing. And I said, dang, I bought that sucker 7 years ago. I wonder if I should take it apart and service it. So when I got home, of course, I busted out the owner's manual. I'm looking at it. It tells me that every 20 uses I need to put a little bit of oil in there, keep the thing lubricated. By my calculations, I think I've used this over 250 times. So today I'm going to take it completely apart and just kind of show you, I don't know, how to service your own if you're after it. Whatever, either way, I'm going to take it apart. So let's check it out. All right, for starts, this is the compressor. It's got a couple of screws on the top here. This one in the center is the only real screw. It's a Phillips. These two are fake. It's just a fake cap on the top, which it's kind of dumb, but at the same time, it keeps you from burning yourself, so by all means, put it on there. Handle will also come off. It's got 4 caps, or nuts, on either side. On this side, there's no screws, so we won't pull those out. And you got Phillips on the end. These nuts are separate. They're not, they're only holding this on, and then they're for looks. All right. Here I'm going to inspect the backside just to see what everything looks like. This is going to be your temperature switch that will of course cause it to flip if it gets hot. I've never once had this thing overheat on me, so that or the sensor just doesn't work. Not real sure, but the pump still works great. This is a sealed bearing. I don't even see any dirt on it, so I don't really have any reason to service anything on this end of the compressor. That is actually not too bad. It's got a little bit of oil in it, so it's clean. Alright, here I can see the 2 reed valves on the top and the Teflon seal. It's really not in bad shape. There's no up and down movement. It's got a sealed bearing right here, so there's really not much of a reason to even lubricate it. That sealed bearing is sealed, so just clean everything off and go back together with it. I'll put a little oil around this Teflon ring. There's nothing wrong with this unit. I could simply put it back together and keep running it. There's a little bit of wear difference, and I don't even think it's wear. I think it's actually just a factory defect, because this isn't hitting anything on that cylinder head, but it's got grooves around here and not over here, which I'm not sure what the design is in that, but it works fine. Not gonna let it bother me. Alright, I have wiped out my cylinder. There's not really any serious bad grooves in it, just the normal wear from where it's moving and the fact that there's no oil, so it's kind of just a Teflon ring. So we're gonna keep going with it. You can't really flip it upside down. It has a tapered edge on this side and not on this side, so there's no starting over and using the new section. Just gonna set it on there. Put a couple of drops of the old 3-in-1 oil in there. Work as a little lubricant. Let it run back and forth. And stick it back right there. The head looks completely fine. No reason to do anything with it. I'll probably put a little bit of oil on this seal, but that's just to help it maintain a good seal. On my compressor, these are 10mm, they'd all come loose a couple of times, so I tightened them down just to where there was a thread sticking out of the top, and they haven't come loose since. It does compress the rubber underneath a little bit more, but I haven't had a problem with it. And I did lose one little foot there, but not letting it bother me. Handle has a notch in it. You can kind of see there. You have to get that notch lined up correctly or it's not going to go into this groove right here. So now both sides have a groove, only one side in the handle has a groove. I don't know, you tell me. Make sure you clean your filter out, reinsert it into your housing. Line up the marks, snap it back together, screw it in the front. And lastly, we'll just turn it on to make sure we did everything right. The best attachment I have put on this compressor is this Velcro strap. The biggest complaint on this compressor is this gauge. It's garbage, it doesn't read accurately, but it's about 7 pounds off. Fire it up, see what happens. Well, works, not too bad. I've only replaced this fuse on the back one time because I hooked it up to my vehicle first one time before I turned it on, so that was my fault. Other than that, works fantastic. This is not a review, but I can highly recommend this compressor. There's a reason they're still selling it after I've had it for 7 years, because they probably don't have many bringbacks on this thing, or bad out of the boxes. So there you go. Harbor Freight air compressor, disassembly, reassembly. Hopefully this helps you. If you're looking for a compressor, I recommend it. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time.